Precisely 6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News edited by Danushka Madhavala and read by Sharifa Tahir. Headlines. The President assures domestic debt restructuring will not affect EPF public funds or stability of any public or private bank. State Minister of Finance says that debt restructuring is essential to strengthen the banking system in the country. $500 million World Bank budgetary support approved in Cabinet. Aswasma beneficiaries advised to file appeals before 10th of July. Parliament to convene on the 1st of July. In foreign news, Chinese millionaire fails 27th attempt at passing university entrance exams. We move on to local news in detail now. President Ranil Wickremesinghe assured that the restructuring of domestic debt will have no impact on the membership balance of any public funds, including the Employees' Provident Fund. He emphasized that the rate of return for superannuation funds will not be affected in any way. Furthermore, the President stated that the restructuring of domestic debt will not pose any threat to the stability of the country's banking system, whether it be public or private banks. He specifically mentioned that the deposits of more than 50 million bank depositors will remain unaffected and there will be no changes to the current interest rates paid on bank deposits. President Ranil Wickremesinghe also announced that proposals for restructuring both foreign and domestic debt will be presented to the Cabinet today. The President made these statements while inaugurating the Gampa District Secretariat Administrative Complex, Laksiyani Mandirya, which has been constructed with the aim of providing efficient and regular government services to the people of the Gampa district. State Minister of Finance Ranjit Siambalapatil says that debt restructuring is essential to strengthen the banking system in the country. The State Minister said that debt restructuring will not affect the account balances. He assures there is no impact for the interests of the funds of the pensioners' funds. The State Minister requests the public not to be misled by false propagandas of various parties. Sri Lanka will enter into an agreement with the World Bank for $500 million in budgetary support for the Cabinet approved after the Cabinet approved it on Tuesday. It is the biggest funding tranche since the International Monetary Fund deal in March. The Cabinet of Ministers approved the proposal by President Ranil Wickremesinghe in his capacity as Finance, Economic Stabilization and National Policies Minister to enter into an agreement with the International Development Association of the World Bank Group in relation to obtaining this financial facility at the Cabinet meeting held on Tuesday. Clearance of the Attorney General's Department and the concurrence of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka have been obtained for the proposed financial facility. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation giving you the news. Continuing with more stories here at home. State Finance Minister Shehan Semasinge advised all applicants whose names were not included in the list of Aswasma beneficiaries to file appeals before the 10th of July. He said following the close of the appeal process, a final list of deserving applicants will be compiled. Semasinge mentioned this while joining the press conference held at the Presidential Media Centre yesterday on the Aswasama Social Welfare Benefits Program. The State Minister pointed out that this problematic situation has arisen as certain parties attempt to satisfy their political needs by giving the Aswasama program, which was created to aid those in need of economic stability, a political facade. The list of names that has been made public is by no means the final list, the minister emphasized. State Finance Minister Shehan Semasinge further said, as a nation, we had to endure a massive economic depression in the recent past. As a main part of recovering the country from that situation, the Aswasama Social Welfare Benefit Program was initiated with the aim of providing the necessary contribution to the people who need economic stability while protecting the poor and vulnerable groups of the population. The Speaker of Parliament, Mahinda Yapabewardene, informed through a special Gazette notification that the Parliament will convene on Saturday, the 1st of July at 9:30 a.m. The Speaker also informed that this announcement is made in accordance with Standing Order 16 of the Parliament at the request of the Prime Minister. The debt restructuring program will be presented before the Committee on Public Finance on Friday, and it is expected to be debated in Parliament on Saturday and, if necessary, on Sunday. Meanwhile, a meeting for the ruling party MPs will be held today under the patronage of President Ranil Wickremesinghe. The President will educate the MPs regarding the debt restructuring process. That's local news for the moment.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
UNESCO has declared the Mahavamsa, the Great Chronicle, which is kept at the Peradeniya University main library, as a World Heritage. According to the head of the History Department of the university, Professor Rohita Disanayake, a part of the last half of the Mahavamsa has been written in Kandyan Kingdom by a former Mahanayaka Thera of the Malwata chapter. He said that there are 99 chapters in Mahavamsa, and it had been written until King Sri Vikrama Rajasinghe surrendered to the British, and there is no mention of the name of the monk who wrote it after Tibbatuwave Nahimi. That's the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
And on Watchlight, the government has increased the fee to renew the licenses of foreign employment agencies. This was announced in a special Gazette notification dated June 22nd, issued by Minister of Labour and Foreign Employment Manusha Nanayakkara. Thereby, the license renewal fee for foreign employment agencies has been from 50,000 rupees to 100,000 rupees. That's on Watchlight. Moving on to world news headlines, Pakistan Army sacks 3 officers over May protests. British actor Julian Sands confirmed dead after remains identified. Chinese millionaire fails 27th attempt at passing university entrance exams. World news in detail. Pakistan's army has fired 3 senior officers for their conduct during protests following the May arrest of former Prime Minister Imran Khan. The rare public announcement did not name the officers, only saying that they failed to protect army properties. Pakistan's powerful military wields massive political influence, and Mr. Khan's supporters blame it for his removal as Prime Minister. Mr. Khan was arrested on corruption charges, sparking nationwide unrest. Thousands of Mr. Khan's supporters tore through military buildings across the country, setting them on fire, including the house of an army general. At least 8 people died in the protests. More than 5,000 people were arrested afterwards, although most were later released. Human remains found in mountains in California have been confirmed to be those of British actor Julian Sands, who went missing on a hike in January. Walkers found the remains on Saturday, police said, and they have now been formally identified. Sands, 65, was best known for his roles in the Oscar-winning film A Room with a View and TV dramas 24 and Smallville. His other credits included 2011's The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, in which he appeared opposite Daniel Craig. Sands disappeared on 13th January during bad weather in the Baldy Bowl area of the San Gabriel Mountains. Finally on world news, a Chinese millionaire says he has failed the country's tough university entrance exams for the 27th time. On Friday, the 56-year-old Yang Shi found out he had scored only 424 out of 750 points. The mark is 34 points short of the baseline needed to apply for any university in China. Nearly 13 million students sat the exams this year. Mr. Liang has drawn local media coverage for his attempts to pursue higher education. Having attended the exams dozens of times since 1983, Mr. Liang told local media he was disappointed in his result this year and was wondering if he would ever realize his dream. That came to you on World News.
Development News is brought to you by
Vacancies for women from Deshakti Lanka for housemaids in Kuwait, Oman and Saudi Arabia for ages 23 to 58 years. Contact number 037 7500 500.
And on development news, Air China will resume their Colombo flights after a lapse of 18 months from the 3rd of July. The airline would operate 3 weekly flights to Colombo from Chengdu, operating every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. Minister of Tourism Harim Fernando said the move is poised to bolster Chinese arrivals and also will enhance business and cargo connectivity between China and Sri Lanka. Air China will deploy A330 aircraft with 280 seats, including a business class. The general sales agent for Air China would be Jetwing Air. Air China is China's only national flag carrier and a member carrier of the world's largest airline network, Star Alliance. Its fleet consists of 490 aircraft.
Vacancies for women from Deshakti Lanka for housekeepers, home cooks, caretakers and home nurses in Kuwait, Oman, Saudi Arabia and Singapore for ages 23 to 57 years. Salaries starting from 156,000 rupees. Interviews with foreign agents are now on. Come whether you have a passport or not. Branches, Colombo, Kurunagala, Anuradhapura and Matara. Contact number 037 7500 500.
And on sports news, Manchester City have signed Croatia midfielder Mateo Kovacic from Chelsea for an initial £25 million. The deal for the 29-year-old is also worth a possible £5 million in add-ons, and he has signed a 4-year contract. Kovacic is City's first signing of the summer after they won the treble of Champions League, Premier League and FA Cup titles last season. That's on sports news.
Go ekakthiyana youth ekata life eke change ekata niyamata set wenna as wahagena dakapu hina habe karanna youth ekata niyamata set wenna friendship ekata menna.
The all-new NSB Ithru account, NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Apple has criticized powers in the online safety bill that could be used to force encrypted messaging tools like iMessage, WhatsApp, and Signal to scan messages for child abuse material. Its intervention comes as 80 organizations and tech experts have written to Technology Minister Chloe Smith urging a rethink on the powers. Apple told the bill should be amended to protect encryption. The government says companies must prevent child abuse on their platforms. End-to-end encryption stops anyone but the sender and recipient reading the message. That's on Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekakthiyana youth ekata life eke change ekata niyamata set wenna as wahagena dakapu hina habe karanna youth ekata niyamata set wenna friendship ekata menna.
The all-new NSB Ithru account, NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
And on economic news, former Audi chief executive Rupert Stadler has been given a 21-month suspended sentence and a fine for fraud and negligence in the 2015 diesel emissions scandal. He is the first top manager to be tried and convicted as part of Dieselgate. German carmaker Volkswagen and its Audi subsidiary admitted at the time to using cheat software so their cars appeared less polluting in tests. Stadler was once a star of the German car industry. He was not accused of ordering the use of emissions cheating software, but did admit to not doing enough to stop the scam and halt sales of cars affected. That's an economic news.
Weather report.
Several spells of showers will occur in western and Sabaragamu provinces and in Kandy Nooriliya, Gaul and Matara districts. A few showers will occur in northwestern province. Showers or thunder showers may occur at a few places in Uva province and in Ampara and Batikla districts during the evening or night. Fairly strong winds, about 40 to 45 km per hour, can be expected at times in western slopes of the Central Hills, North Central Province, and in Puttalam, Hambantota, and Trincomalee districts. That's the weather update. Before we wind up this bulletin of news, back to the headlines. The President assures domestic debt restructuring will not affect EPF public funds or stability of any public or private bank. State Minister of Finance says that debt restructuring is essential to strengthen the banking system in the country. $500 million World Bank budgetary support approved in Cabinet. Aswasama beneficiaries advised to file appeals before the 10th of July. Parliament to convene on the 1st of July. Foreign news: Chinese millionaire fails 27th attempt at passing university entrance exams. With that, we conclude the morning bulletin of news.